Alright, you've made it back to another stream here with Sweetfish Plays. This is going to be part 71, and this is going to be a much shorter part than one of our typical parts. Part 70 ended rather abruptly, ran a little bit longer than I think I initially anticipated, and so I had to cut it a little bit short, which means we didn't really get to discuss a lot of very important points that happened towards the end of Chapter 6 there, and kind of the conclusion of Arthur Morgan. A very tragic kind of ending for him. He kind of had to fight to the death with Micah. Micah and Dutch, I guess, presumably get away, scot-free here. And Arthur unfortunately perishes. That's not really what I was expecting at the end there, to have a fist-to-fist combat battle with Micah. But, I mean, he kind of turned out to be the main enemy in this game and the one that's been dragging our gang through the mud this entire time. So it was only fitting that that's who we kind of had to take out there at the end. And good on Dutch for kind of making the right decision there and abandoning Micah. I thought that was extremely important as well, to show that Dutch is kind of moving on from Micah's madness. Maybe Micah isn't having the same kind of influence on Dutch anymore. Now the game continues here. This is officially, I believe, the epilogue, and we are no longer controlling Arthur Morgan. So this is several years down the line. Multiple years have passed here. This isn't just a matter of a couple weeks or a couple months. We're talking several years here. You can see that John Marston has aged a little bit, as has Abigail and Jack. You can see Jack in the back of the carriage here is a little bit younger. I think that that's important. Sorry, he's a little bit older, so I think that that's important to note here. But we are no longer Arthur Morgan. We're going back to the times of the original Red Dead Redemption and controlling John Marston. So we started off here. We're in the carriage with Abigail, and we are supposed to try and find a home here. I guess for the last couple years, John Marston and Abigail have been doing basically what the gang has been doing, had been doing the entire time, in kind of setting up camp here and there and everywhere, kind of on a week-by-week or month-to-month basis almost, but constantly on the move. And, Abigail made it clear that, she's kind of ready to settle down here. And so they selected Strawberry as a potential destination to settle down here. So that's kind of our goal here, is to do that. It's interesting because there's a lot of questions that I still have. A lot of questions I have about Dutch and Micah and some of the other members of the gang. So it'll be interesting to see if we run across any of them going forward. The game continues. I want to emphasize that this is not the end of my Let's Play series. This is far from the end of the game. The credits have not officially rolled yet, so things are continuing here. This is not the end. This is the end of the Arthur Morgan saga, but not the end of our Red Dead 2 playthrough. So let's just get things underway here. As soon as this particular first mission here, this introductory mission with John Marston concludes, this is going to be the end of part 71. I just didn't want to leave abruptly and then not have another follow-up video right away to post as soon as I can. I don't want to leave you guys hanging too long here. So our Arthur Morgan days are over. I kind of wish that he just died in a much more positive setting than where he was left and under these circumstances. But, the most important thing at the end there for Arthur, it wasn't about anybody else at the end there but John. If there was anything Arthur could do at the end there, it was saving John. So, in honor of kind of Arthur's dying wish here, we need to do our best here with John Marston now. We got to switch gears. We got to focus on making great decisions for John Marston. And he's our main priority here going forward. Let's see what's going on.
Boy?
Sorry, sir. What was that?
I said you're a bad influence. On your mother. With your books.
Which books was that?
You know, that dime novel, Boy Calloway and the Men from the Moon, or whatever it was.
I'll do my best to find better reading material, Pa.
Is that what you like, then? Western tales? Boy,
What's that, sir?
do you enjoy tales of the Wild West?
Not so much. Anymore. I've been reading about knights. Of the Round Table.
The king. What's his name?
there's King Arthur, and there's Sir Lancelot, and the Lady Guinevere, and a whole lot of others.
Those names.
I kinda like them.
You know what? So do I.
I bet that sign says strawberry, don't it? I got a good feeling about this place. Been a long time.
One good thing is at least that combat scene at the end there between Micah and Arthur, at least it wasn't like a quick time action scene where you like press the X button, press the O button, like a Call of Duty might do at the end of the game. It was more like there was some skill involved in actually in the hand-to-hand combat there, in fending off Micah and blocking and breaking free, and then he tackled me, and so there was definitely a little bit of strategy involved
Why don't
there.
you pull up just here?
I'm gonna go see what kind of good, honest work I can find. Grave digging or polishing some rich fella's boots or some such.
Me too. See if me and the boy can find some laundry work or something.
Help you, son?
I'm hoping I can help you. I saw the help wanted sign outside.
Sure, but you're a bit old to be stacking groceries and running errands, ain't you, son?
Well, I ain't too proud to do nothing. As long as it's honest and it pays.
Time's hard, Mr.
Milton. Jim Milton. Yeah, my wife and I, and our boy, we was robbed a few days ago. Lucky to get out with our lives, we was. Now, well, we need money.
There's bad folk out there.
Tell me
Got
about
a
it.
wagon by any chance?
I'm sure.
Well, then maybe you could run some goods up to Pronghorn Ranch for me. You know, head west past Owanjila, then follow the road north, leads you right there.
I don't know where that is, but I'm sure I can find it. I can leave right now if you'd like.
It's Getty's place. Fine fella. Where's the wagon?
It's just outside. You know, I should go tell my wife, and then I can come back and get loaded.
No, my boys can load you up while you go find your wife.
Okay.
At least this is a nice place, and John Marston doesn't really have the same kind of rep here that we had with Arthur. Arthur had a very bad rep in Strawberry from the times that we were here, but it is kind of a nice place to be. A little bit colder up here than a lot of the places that we go to down south, but just the scenery and everything is quite beautiful. So we're gonna link up again with Abigail. Looks like we found ourselves some work. I don't know if John Marston is actually trying to settle down here with his wife and his son, or maybe this is all part of a ruse that they do in getting in and then robbing a business like this. I'm not sure. I kind of had a feeling that that might be the case, but wouldn't surprise me if they are just trying to settle down too. Been through a lot in these last few years. Not the same kind of guidance they had when
Thank
they
you,
were in the
Doctor.
gang.
Hey! How you getting on?
Well, found some work.
Me too.
Delivering goods out to some ranch.
Cleaning a doctor's surgery.
Fine living.
It is, John. Oh, it is. This is the way to it.
I'll take your word on that. Well, what do you suggest now?
I'll stay here. Get on with the work. You deliver them goods and then collect me.
Okay.
And John, I love you. Don't you forget that. Not ever now.
I won't.
Typical teenage boy there. Return to your wagon. So we're gonna go ahead and do this this new job right away here. So far, things are looking good for Abigail and John Marston. It looks like they've at least survived for the past couple of years. I hope we get updates on most, if not all, of the still remaining members of our gang, the ones that are still alive.
Good.
want his goods damaged.
Of course.
It's interesting that he's not using his real name, John Marston. I guess because it's got some notoriety around it, but he's using Milton's name, which I think definitely has some irony to it.
Owen, Sheila, then follow the road north. Okay.
Man, what a series of events to end the game there.
Hey, how you holding up?
Real fine.
I mean, my head, I think, is still kind of spinning from everything that just transpired there in part 70. Everything from Buell getting picked off, sharing a moment with him, kind of saying our last goodbyes to John Marston, and then being ambushed by Micah, and then Dutch comes out of nowhere and steps on the gun, and I thought just get to that gun and shoot Micah. That's what I thought was going to happen, and then it was quite surprising to me when Dutch stepped on the gun, but even more surprising that he walked away. Nothing worse than a guy who doesn't finish what he starts, and that's Dutch. Arthur died fighting for those he loves, for what he believes in. So, I think anyways, so, I mean, as tragic as it might be, he got John Marston and his family to a better place. Now I'm really interested to see what kind of twists and turns. Now we're controlling John Marston. What's going to happen here?
We go past it and north.
There's not a whole lot they can do because we already, you know, we've seen John Marston or a good portion of his life play out through the first Red Dead Redemption, so I'm interested to see what they do here with him. Hopefully I've covered most of what I need to, discussed a lot of the larger pieces of the puzzle here and what's going on. Again, keep our community lively. You know, don't hesitate to ask questions or, you know, clarify certain things if, you know, I'm in the wrong. Sometimes I'm just chatting away and might not realize that I'm saying the wrong thing or something. To be honest with you, I was expecting to control John in a new kind of area altogether. That's what I assumed was going to happen. I mean, the whole idea was for John Marston to get away, and he didn't get very far in a couple of years. Unless he's just kind of returned to this land. They must be doing well off because Arthur obviously gave John Marston the key to Dutch's chest. And it was assumed, or implied, I guess, that the chest contained a lot of valuables and a lot of goods, a lot of money and bonds that the gang has saved up over time. I guess Dutch had them hidden away for emergencies or whatnot. Abigail got a hold of the key. I think it was Abigail. And then she gave it to Arthur. But before Arthur could obviously use it, a lot good it would have done him anyways. But John would have probably likely gone back and snatched some of it, so that probably would have given him a good start at least. Let's obviously now they're trying to find, you know, real jobs and whatnot. I don't know, interesting.
Now we go north.
It's all very interesting. So I think we just went around Owangila Lake. Those were the instructions. And then head north to Pronghorn Ranch. I don't know that we've really been up here. We've definitely spent a little bit of time around Owangila. Again, going back to log missions number 4, we just went there recently to get a legendary fish with Arthur. Check that out under our extra content playlist if you haven't already. There's some great fun watches there if you're craving some more Red Dead. So I am kind of familiar with this area, but not necessarily with Pronghorn Ranch in particular. We're approaching it now, though, so... Whoops. I'm not sure really where this is going to go. We go from literally the heat of a battle in, you know, one of the most climactic moments of the game so far, and climactic moments plural, because I think that there's been plenty of them. There's been a massive buildup in this game, and then finally it all just kind of, the top popped off kind of there with our Part 70. And now we're delivering goods from a shopkeeper to a ranch. This is, let's just say the intensity of this mission is quite a lot less than what we've been accustomed to of late. They really packed my wagon here, so I didn't want to travel too quickly. It's actually hard to control these wagons if you try and move too quickly. You can really lose control. Should pick up a bit of speed here.
This must be it.
Yeah, this must be it is right. You can see the beautiful Grizzly Mountains in the distance there. It's a beautiful backdrop for this ranch. Deliver the goods to Pronghorn Ranch. This place does actually kind of feels a little familiar, no?
You Mr. Geddes?
No, sir. I'm Mr. Dickens, his overseer.
Jim Milton. I'm delivering some supplies from the store in Strawberry.
Okay.
This is quite a place.
Yes, it's beautiful.
They send everything?
Yeah, I think so.
So, partner, your boss, he looking for hands?
Why? You looking for work?
Yeah. My wife, we was in business with her family and turned sour. It's a long story.
Yeah, I don't know. Married hands. It's a lot of trouble.
I'm a good worker. My wife, Agatha, even our boy, Lancelot. We'll all work.
Big man around, boy? Get the hell out of here.
Now, that ain't very neighborly.
And threatening us is neighborly?
Hey, mind if I enjoy one of these apples?
Put that down. Delicious.
Oh, when's boss man gonna sell this place, boy?
I don't think there's any plans for that.
You boys want a drink? It's some fine Scotch whiskey.
Put that down. Put that down.
Oh, these supplies for the season.
Get off the farm.
Come on, we know when we're not wanted.
Get down from there.
Bye, bud.
You come back here! That's my damn wagon! You ain't getting away with that! That's my damn wagon, you hear me?
Can you catch us, feller? Boss man's so rich, he don't need this stuff. Oh, shit! This one's got a stuff.
Hey,
Easy peasy lemon
you.
squeezy.
Milton, isn't it? Those boys are out of Laramie, work for Mr. Abel. Thank you.
don't mention it. Listen, I ain't looking for no charity or nothing, but I was serious. You got work? We'll work. I can do anything. We got robbed ourselves a few days back.
We ain't got married hands here. You're married.
Work harder than any one of them. I'm real honest, and my wife, even though she's got fancy thoughts, she'll work.
Seem kind of desperate. What trouble you in?
No trouble, sir. Aside from her brother, he tricked us and robbed her of her inheritance. We're good people. We'll work. Even Lancelot.
What does Mr. Geddes need with a boy? Just another mouth to feed.
Just, please give us a chance. I can handle myself okay, you know that already.
Yeah, makes me wonder just who would have robbed you. But we'll give you a chance. I'll let Mr. Geddes know when him and his wife return tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Dickens. I'll go get my wife.
Nah, no, you stay here. It's getting late. We'll go get her in Strawberry. We'll bring her here tomorrow. We need you around in case any more of them Laramie boys turns up. There's a little cabin out yonder past the ranch house. Things work out, y'all can stay there.
Thank you. You'll not regret this.
Yep. Get yourself settled. We'll have work for you tomorrow when Mr. Geddes returns.
Interesting. Epilogue Part 1, Pronghorn Ranch. So there's actually going to be multiple parts just to the epilogue. So this is kind of like Red Dead 2 John Marston's story now. This is going to be quite interesting. We've got back to free roam. We did the wheel. You abandoned your legendary animal, visit the near fence and trapper. I forgot I had a legendary animal skin on there from Arthur. I probably should have cleared some of that stuff up. I was so focused at the beginning of part 70, just getting that stuff done. In the Blackwater and Tumbleweed stables. We can now actually go to Blackwater, it looks like. It looks like that's a possibility now. Yes, it is. We're no longer wanted, dead or alive. The only places that we have restricted access right now are Fort Wallace and the Sisika Penitentiary area, which obviously we're not going to be going near there anyways. Looks like most places are open and available to us. Blackwater would be a great place to check out. I think we should probably make that our goal to check out in the near future. Other than that, those log missions are still available, which means that we can still go through and do some of the side stuff if we want. Even the Marco Dragic mission is actually still available, which is kind of weird. That's it. We just completed our first mission with John Marston, and this is it. This is our new life in Red Dead 2, I guess. I mean, I don't really know what else to say here. I find it interesting that now he's trying to find work at this ranch. He's already found work at the store, and I don't know. I just feel like there might be some ulterior motives here for John and Abigail. I don't really know what direction this story with him is going to go in. But I mean, this whole game has been pretty unpredictable in what happens. So that's basically it. The The only mission that's available to us right now is Tom Dickens. Abigail and Jack are due to arrive at your cabin in Pronghorn Ranch. So now we're going to be staying at this ranch. This is our new home. We're going to be kind of like ranch hands here. I don't know if we're still going to be working for that storekeeper or not at all in Strawberry. I guess that's the closest town now. When we were playing as Arthur Morgan, I always wondered why we didn't spend more time in Strawberry, why there wasn't more emphasis on Strawberry. There was a lot of emphasis on Valentine and Rhodes and Saint Denis and the Annisburg area, but not a lot of things really happened. There was one or a couple missions, maybe a handful at most in Strawberry, but not a lot of attention paid there. But it looks like this first part of the epilogue is going to emphasize Strawberry and more particularly Blackwater. Just basically the West Elizabeth region as a whole has been kind of left behind to this point in the game, and now this is one area where obviously we're extending to explore a little bit more. And Blackwater, from what I understand, is kind of a city, maybe not quite like Saint Denis, not quite as large, but it looks like it's got a little bit of a build up there, so we'll see what's going on there. We're going to do this mission to start next time, and then we'll see what else we got going for us. But man, what a couple of parts it's been. I recorded part 70 and then this part 71, kind of consecutively to each other, only about an hour apart from each other. I would have had it all as one video, but something came up, and so I had to split it up between 70 and 71, but at least we got our feet wet with John Marston a little bit now. We kind of know what's going on going into the epilogue. We've a good introductory to the epilogue a little bit. Let me know what your opinions are on everything that's just transpired down below. Make sure to like and subscribe, as I know you always do. Finally have the opportunity to save. We did probably about 3 missions in total there, 3 main story missions, so we'll see what kind of impact that has on our overall completion of the game here. So we went from 68.6% completion on the game to 74.9%. That is one of the biggest jumps that I have personally seen in this game to this point. I mean, I knew that we had done a lot and a lot significantly. With the epilogue missions that we're going to be doing, we should be able to clear 80% plus completion of the game for sure. And it'd be interesting to see if we could get up towards maybe the 85 to 90% percentile range of completion. That would be impressive for me. I would be really happy with that, considering this is my first playthrough ever of Red Dead Redemption 2. Being how long it is, don't know that I'll ever play it again, but it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad you were able to join me for these critical parts, and I will see you on the other side.